Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jain, an international medical graduate from India, and this is a video brought to you by USMLE where I will discuss about how you can save money during the entire USMLE process. For international medical graduates, USMLE is a financially training process, and there are some ways you can make sure that you are efficient when it comes to using your money, and which is what I'm going to explain you in the further video. Okay, so firstly, let's understand fixed and variable costs. So fixed costs are those where you cannot really do anything. For example, the exams you take. For example, you pay fees to ECFMG, you pay fees in application. So all these are like fixed costs. You cannot really do anything about it. So that will come down to around 15 to $20,000 in general. And the variable costs are those that you spend in the US in clinical rotations. It depends on where you are doing your rotations. It depends on your stay, whether you have some relatives or not. And it depends on planning a lot. Planning is really important when it comes to USMLE because if you plan really ahead in time, then there are higher chances that you will do it efficiently and you'll end up saving money. I will try to categorize the whole USMLE process into three different phases. The first phase is when you're giving your exams, when you're taking your exams, and you buy resources. The second phase is when you travel to US for clinical experiences and research purpose, and the third phase is when you submit your application. And we are going to talk about how we can save money in each of these phases. So let's talk about phase one. Phase one is when you're taking exams in your country or when you're just taking exams and not doing clinical experiences. So here you can save money by being aware of where you are in your studies and scheduling a slot accordingly. A lot of my friends did this thing that they scheduled the slot without taking proper NBME or UWSAs, and then they figured out that they were not prepared and they had to cancel the slot. Uh, the extension is only limited to one time, so if you cancel the slot, you actually lose around $1,000. So that's somewhere you can save money. Be very sure. It's okay if you take a slot around 3 weeks before your exam, but you should be sure that you want to give that exam. So that will help you from saving some money, and it will decrease the unnecessary expenses. The second is taking subscriptions, especially UL subscriptions. So a lot of my friends and even me did this thing that when we estimated that we'll take around 6 to 7 months to prepare, and we took like 6 month UL subscription, but we almost all of us ended up extending and like spending more money in the extension. So when you feel that you need around 6 months or 7 months, then I would suggest you to take the entire yearly subscription of UL because it just costs $100 more. But trust me, firstly, it will reduce your stress about renewing it, and secondly, it will most likely you're not gonna meet the exact timeline, and you are going to spend some money in the extension, and you'll feel grateful that you took this advice and you took the entire year slot. So this is a way you can save some money. Another thing is materials and resources. So this in my medical school, a lot of our seniors used to give us resources. So I used to network a lot. For example, I needed some Kaplan material. I used to ask from some senior. When I needed Amboss, I would look for a colleague or somebody who is using Amboss and use for some days. So if I need something just for reference, I'll not buy it. I'll usually just have a good network of people around me, and I'll ask them if they could give me some time to use those resources. And this kind of networking will also go a really long way because you'll steadily develop relationship with those seniors and colleagues, and it will help you to form a support network, and you guys can help each other out. For example, there are certain subscriptions where you can get a group discount, so that helps. Also, I've seen that when you are in touch with somebody for like 3 to 4 years, they actually become a really good connection. You actually become good friends, and you are able to help each other out during interviews and stuff. So that mentoring and guidance also comes when you ask people for help and you network. So let's talk about the next phase. This phase is a very important one, and this is the phase where you actually can save a lot of money. This is a phase when you are in the US and you're going for clinical experiences. I've realized that clinical experiences is the single most important place where you can save money if you plan really well ahead. For example, there are a lot of agencies and there are a lot of companies that will charge you above 2,000 to $3,500. And I have like a few friends who were very active in searching rotations, and they got some rotations for free because they planned really ahead in time. Like they started emailing hospitals or their contacts 6 to 7 months before they were actually going to do the rotation. So they had multiple options and they always chose the option which were free. So this is really important because supposing you do 3 to 4 months of clinical experiences and if you uh, pay around $2,500 for each rotation, it will come down to $10,000, which is huge. I would suggest that you try to find at least one or two free rotations because that drastically reduces your expenses in clinical experiences. Now, supposing you're not able to find a free rotation, as you know, for a lot of international medical graduates, they don't have a lot of contacts in the US, so it might be difficult to get a free rotation, especially your first rotation as free rotation. So there are some really good affordable options in USMLE Sarthi. They charge $150 for connecting you with the doctors of the hospital. But other than that, I found their catalog of rotations to be more affordable when compared to other agencies in this field. Also, they have rotations in almost all IMG friendly places like New York, Chicago, Michigan, Houston, Texas, and they have rotations in almost all the specialties. So that is something I think you should consider before you go for a rotation. Another important place where you can save some money is your living expenses and food. So this depends upon person to person. Not all, every one of us want to save money in this area. But I've realized that supposing you are in a very hectic schedule or very hectic rotation and you think that you just need a place to sleep, try getting a place where you could be with other people. I mean, if it's a shared room, if it's a shared apartment, I think that will help you to reduce the cost. For example, once I was doing this rotation in New York, and I had to pay $1,200 for a one room. But then the next month, I talked to my friend, and he also joined me. So we were living in the same room, and it costed me only $700. So my cost reduced by $500. So these are some ways you could try to reduce some cost. But it generally depends upon you as a person and how comfortable you feel when sharing a room, and if you have a friend around. Another very important area where you can save some money is by cooking your own food. Usually, I have seen that it takes around 200 to $250 to $300 in a month if you bring everything and cook your own food inside your home. So otherwise, if you like pay for every meal every day, you will end up spending around $500 to $600. So you can save $200 and maybe use it to just go out in the US and do several other things and just explore United States more. Another thing, if you're really on a budget, try to get everything from your home country so that you don't have to shop a lot in the US. Like you just go out and explore, but you don't have to shop a lot. For example, if you know that you need some sort of blazer or you need some formals, and if you're getting a good quality in your own home country, try to get it there because usually you'll find stuff very expensive in the US, especially if there is no sale. So that's some these all things need more planning in general. So if you have planned things really well, you'll end up saving money. Okay, so let's talk about the last phase. You have finally reached during the application, and this is the phase when you're applying to the programs. And here you can save a good amount of money if you do a thorough program research. Don't try to apply to places who do not sponsor visa if in case you need a visa. So that will save you a lot of money. Try to see the IMG rates. Try to see if people from your country have matched into that phase, and try to come up with a decent list of programs. Obviously, you should apply broadly because you should not take a risk. But for hard criteria such as visa, if you do thorough program research, you'll save a lot of money. Since during the application you need to come up with a list of programs to apply to, I think USMLE Sarthi's services does a phenomenal job here, because they make a list which is customized to your profile, your scores, your visa status, your research projects, and a number of clinical experience that you have. So they come up with a list of hospitals that they think you should apply to, and that really helps because you get to know a lot of information about the programs. You get to choose the programs, and in a way it helps you to limit the number of programs you want to apply to. Like, you don't apply to programs which do not sponsor visa in case you're a visa seeking candidate. So that is something that you could check into USMLE Sarthi's website. So these are the phases where you can save money in the US in general. Other than that, USMLE has a fixed cost when it comes to OET exams, STEP exams, the fees for application, ECFMG. So you wouldn't be really able to save there, but these are the places where you could save. I hope this video helped you a lot. A lot of students who are in their first year or second year do want to understand the financial aspects of USMLE. So just keep in mind that for USMLE in general, you need around $15,000 to $20,000. That's the bare minimum that you might need to buy all the subscriptions and pay all the fees.